Do you really believe you are a kind person just because you say yes to everything? Just because you are so available? Let me hold your hand when I say this, but no. People pleasing isn't kindness, it is just fear with a smile. You are just scared. Does that sting? Good. You need the sting. Says the one who used to be the queen of yes. But 5 months ago, I finally snapped out of it. No, it's not because of some motivational videos. No, it was from burnout. So I know what I'm talking about. Let me help you do the same. Okay, so I used to say yes even before I knew what the hell was happening. And then I'd always feel heavy, I'd always feel tired. I would replay the same conversation in my head and wonder why I still feel so disconnected, so empty, even after being so available to everyone. To be honest, I didn't know it was called people pleasing. I thought whatever I was doing, it made me a good, kind person. Always understanding, always adjusting, always sacrificing. I was exhausted. But the funny thing is, I didn't even know why I'm so exhausted. And I think I crossed my own limits 5 months ago. It took me a very long time to realize that I was a people pleaser. And oh my god, it was costing my confidence. It was costing my peace. And my self-worth was down there. So I started setting boundaries. Did it feel good? Oh my god, no. I felt so guilty. I couldn't sleep at night in the beginning because I was replaying those conversations and I was feeling guilty about those. But I also found peace. Trust me, it's so much worth it. Nothing in this world beats your peace, your inner peace. Trust me when I say. So today I will teach you how I did it exactly, step by step. So you can stop being everyone's emotional support human and live your own life. If you are watching this and if you relate, trust me, you are not broken. It's just that you learn this pattern somewhere along in your life. So don't blame yourself. So how does people pleasing start? People always ask this. Why am I like this? Why I can't just say no? Why I can't stop overgiving? Why do I feel guilty after choosing myself? And the truth is, people pleasing didn't start because you're too kind. No. It started because at some point in your life, being easy felt safer than being honest. For most of us, it began in our childhood. You learn very early that love came with conditions, that praise came when you behaved, that approval came when you were staying small, when you were staying quiet, and when you were helpful, more agreeable. So you adapted. You learned if I don't cause problems, I will be accepted. If I don't ask for too much, I won't be rejected. If I can make everyone feel comfortable, I will be safe. And slowly, without even realizing it, you learned how to abandon yourself in the name of being good. Some of you might have grew up in homes where conflict felt dangerous, where anger meant chaos, where silence meant tension, where expressing your needs feel like you are asking for too much and that you have to perform to be loved. So your body made a decision. I will become whatever that is to keep peace. No, it's not because you were weak, but because you were smart enough to survive. You were rewarded for self-sacrifice, praised for being mature too early, thanked for being understanding when you were hurting, calling you strong when you were actually exhausted. So you learn to earn love instead of receiving it. And now, even as an adult, your nervous system still believes connection still needs to be maintained through sacrifice. That disagreements means abandonment. That disappointment equals danger. And here's the part I want you to hear. You didn't choose this because you are broken. You chose it because at some point in your life, it kept you safe. But what kept you safe as a child is now what keeping you small as an adult. Once again, what kept you small as a child is what keeping you small as an adult. You are not that child anymore. You have grown up so much. You have a voice now. You have choices now. You have boundaries now. You no longer need to trade your truth for approval. You no longer need to earn love through exhaustion. So it is okay to stop. And it is safe to stop. You are not in survival anymore. You have grown up. You are a big girl now. You are a big boy now. And that means you finally get to live. Just because you pick up this habit when you were a child, it doesn't need to continue anymore. And you don't have to fall into the victim mindset. No, that is lame. Take responsibility for your life now. I'm not gonna lie, when you start doing this, you're gonna feel weird, you're gonna feel guilty, you're gonna feel very awkward. I felt the same. I thought I was being so rude, even when I was just being honest. And to be honest, sometimes even now I feel a little bit guilty. But what I want to say, that is so normal. You've been saying yes your whole life, and what do you think? How you're gonna feel saying no out of nowhere? You are gonna feel weird. You are gonna feel guilty. That is okay. That is what unlearning people pleasing feels in the beginning. And if you feel all those feelings, feeling weird, awkward, guilty, good. You're finally getting out of people pleasing, so give yourself a hug. You are doing great. Remember, you are not doing something wrong, you are just doing something new. That is it. Okay, so now let's look at some tips that help me getting out of people pleasing. And I'm sure these are gonna help you too. So, tip number 1. Pause before you answer. You know, we people pleasers have the urge to say yes so quickly without even thinking, without even hearing the request. It's always not because you want, because you're wired, your nervous system is wired to do that way, because you are trained to avoid conflict. So instead of saying yes, replace that word with I'm not sure, let me check, let me get back to you, because this gives a chance for your brain to think about what they are asking from you. So switching from yes to these helps you check in with yourself first before checking in with others. The pause is where your power lives, okay? Oh, and I forgot to tell you this. So all the tips I'm about to say, you need to practice them, because think about it. You've been a people pleaser for your whole life, and you've been practicing saying yes, being so available to everybody for so long. So if you want to get out of that, you need to practice doing the opposite. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the second tip. Tip 2. Say no without any explanation. Have you noticed that people pleasers don't just say no? They write a whole essay around it. Oh, I'm sorry, this is why. I'm so sorry, I will make it up to you. They justify, they apologize. They're just trying to soften the blow, you know? But here's the truth, a boundary is not a debate. When you over explain, you're asking permission to take care of yourself. And you don't need permission, honey. A clean, I can't do it right now is just enough. It is short, respectful, and final. The more you talk, the more you leak your power. And that is not pretty to watch. Don't do it. And let's move on to the tip 3. Tip 3 is let people be uncomfortable. I feel like this is the hardest one, because people pleasers are allergic to seeing other people's disappointment. Because you think, okay, they feel bad, that means I'm a bad person. If they're upset, that means I did something wrong. But let me tell you, disappointment isn't danger. It is simply a human emotion. And people who genuinely care about you won't leave you just because you set a boundary. And if somebody do leave, good for you. Because don't you see it? That person didn't care about you. So let people feel what they feel. Your job is not to manage everyone else's emotional reaction. Your job is to manage yours. Your job is to honor your truth. You can only take responsibility for yourself. Don't forget that. Tip number 4. Listen to your resentment. It is a warning sign. And let me tell you, resentment isn't random. It is the emotion that shows up when you've been abandoning yourself for too many times. If you say yes and then you immediately feel bitter, you feel drained, you feel irritated, then that wasn't kindness. That was just self-sacrifice. And resentment is your intuition yelling at you, saying that this was a boundary you ignored. So instead of pushing it away, listen to it. It is guiding you back to yourself. Don't overlook that. It is really trying to tell you something. Tip number 5. Stop trying to be liked by everyone. Oh my god, this is a big one. Because people pleasing is rooted in the belief that you need universal approval to feel safe. Here's the truth. Some people will still dislike you, no matter how sweet, how kind, how accommodating you are. Think about it. You cannot please everyone in this world. So why even try? And on the other hand, some people will love it when you are messy, when you are blunt, when you are imperfect. Yes, being real will lose a few people, but being fake, you will use you. So honey, choose yourself. Tip number 6. Choose guilt over resentment. When you first set boundaries, you will of course feel guilty. That guilt is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are finally healing. You are not used to choosing yourself. That is why it feels uncomfortable. But let me tell you, guilt always fades, but resentment does not. So choose the emotion that passes, not the one that stays locked in your heart, in your body for years and years. Tip number 7. Ask from yourself, am I doing this from love or out of fear? This question cuts through every situation. If the answer is love, love for yourself, love for the other person, then yes, do it. But if the answer is fear, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of disappointment, fear of being judged, then that yes, it's not a real yes. Now that you have grown up, move from truth, not fear. You have nothing to fear. You are an adult now. Even if this hurts, I have to say this. Grow up. That is what I said to myself. Because staying in victim mindset is not a pretty sight. It won't do anything good to you. It won't do anything good to others. So you need to break the pattern. Okay, so let's move on to the final tip. And this is the most important one. Tip 8 is practice. For the next 30 days, I want you to choose yourself. Stop overgiving. Be selfish. This is just enough for your brain to remember that you matter. Say yes to only yourself. And remember, just because you say no to others, you are not going to disappear. Okay? So, choose yourself over and over. Yes, you need to take a drastic measure so your nervous system learns that choosing yourself is safe. If you are really serious about stop people pleasing, trust me, this is gonna help you. Because people pleasing isn't kindness. It is self-abandonment disguised as being good. When you always put others first, your brain thinks that you come last. And that slowly kills your self-worth. All I'm saying is it's okay to mess up. I'm still learning, I still mess up, and sometimes I over-explain when I don't even need to. But I'm choosing myself more than ever. I'm choosing myself every day. And honestly, that changed everything. You stop waking up tired for no reason because your body no longer carries that silent resentment. You stop feeling drained after conversation because you are no longer performing for approval. You are no longer performing for validation. You start to feel calmer, and it is not because life got easier. It's because you stopped fighting with yourself. And you speak slower, you decide slower, you respond instead of reacting. You no longer panic when someone is disappointed. You no longer shrink when someone disagrees. You no longer rush to fix emotions that aren't even yours. And here's the part nobody warns you about. Some people won't like the new you. And no, it's not because you became colder. It's because you became clear. The ones who benefited from your silence will see your boundaries as a rejection. The ones who were comfortable with your exhaustion, they will call your self-respect selfish. But let me tell you, the right people, they will feel much safer with you. Because now when you say yes, it is real. Now when you show up, it is genuine. And now when you give, you are not pouring from an empty cup. It is coming from overflow, not obligation. And you stop living in fear of being misunderstood. Because you finally understand yourself. You stop trying to be chosen because you choose yourself first. And finally, you come home to yourself. And there's no place like home. If this video made you feel understood, I talk about self-love, mindset, boundaries, identity growth a lot here. So you can subscribe if you want to grow with me. And if this video helped you even a little, like the video so more people can see it. And yeah, thank you for being here. You are strong, you can do it. It's okay to be messy, but you gotta take an action. Otherwise, you will lose yourself. I love you.